Hey!
This is JJ and Alex.
I made a name for myself, I told you I won't be denied.
As you wrap up your day, it's time to get your fix of the teams you live for and the sports you love. This is JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Welcome in, everybody. JJ and Alex, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone. You okay over there?
Well, those of you on the YouTube stream here, like I got this what do I do with my hands thing with my microphone? I can't get the microphone to stay where I need it. See, there it goes. There it goes.
I want you to track this the rest of the day to watch JJ have to deal with this.
I want to look good.
It's not good for radio.
I'm a TV guy. I want to look good on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, as good as I can. I don't look good, but you know what I mean? I don't want a microphone on my face is what I'm saying. And this thing will not stay down. And then I can't put my hands on my laptop. And
isn't the word...
I'm having one of those situations here to start the show.
Wasn't the
Great
word...
radio.
Wasn't the last word that maybe we'd have to start wearing makeup? Have you been told...
That was an April Fool's joke.
Hey, Annapolis... Even look, the producer camera's gonna have to get fired up more and more, and you're gonna have to start throwing on some Mac.
By the way, Annapolis, you're welcome to turn that on the whole show. You're part of the show.
I love how he's like, "Thank you, appreciate
you don't
the
have
invitation."
to hide in there. Everybody out there wants.
Don't wait for your mic to
I got
activate
people tell me all the time, like, "You guys are all right," but I really like Alex Annapolis. I want to hear more Alex on the show.
Actually, activates the camera.
Did you?
Because anytime that I'm speaking to you guys, it's not even.
It's not popping up. Hey, Lloyd.
Wow, I think you're in control of that.
Hey, Lloyd, can we figure this out? Can we get this guy? I mean, not that it's. I know you guys got to negotiate a part of the contract.
I mean,
let's get at least camera.
Annapolis isn't going to appear on the show for free.
Let's get camera appearances 30-70 on the show here for Annapolis. Anytime that mic cracks, it's got to be on. Come on, man. Turn the lights on in there. Let's get it going. We got lots going on. This is a packed freaking show today. You know why? Because we're in a market where sports is packed right now.
It's condensed.
And yesterday we were like, we were lamenting this like weird moment where we were like, oh, Jazz, Mammoth, both off tonight. What's going on here? Nope. Monday night football, or well, I guess it was Tuesday night. No college football going on until Thursday. No.
We had no football Tuesday.
I know. We had nothing going on. I was like, what are we doing? What are we doing here?
At least Monday night we had that incredible FCS championship game.
Oh, yeah, Montana State and
that was awesome.
Illinois State.
Oh, man, that was fun. That was the most fun I had watching a college football game this year.
Kickers aren't people, too, by the way. I was actually following that the Illinois State kicker has his own like pretty big social media following because he films all the stuff because he films all the meals that they have on the road. He's all, here's what we ate as an FCS playoff team at the hotel.
So he's a foodie.
Yeah, because that's what people pay attention to. It's like that dude who played for 9 different teams I don't know where he kicked, that Cashman kid from anyway, he was at BYU for like a hot minute, went to like 6 other different teams, and he would just show his gear hauls. And everyone's like, why is the kicker getting so much gear? And they're like, well, it's because it's isn't UCLA like they're a Jordan school, right? So he just got stuff shipped to him, and he's like, look at my gear haul. So Anyway,
did he tap on the box? A little ASMR.
He gets his fingernails all long so he can tap on the box. I just got some new gear. I can't do it because I don't have fingernails.
Why do people love watching that crap?
I don't know. Food.
Each their own.
It's like, look what we ate. And they're wearing meta glasses and showing themselves go through the buffet, and I'm going, ooh, that looks good. It's 1 a.m. I'm all, that looks good, man. Give me some of that Hilton Honors buffet situation in the FCS playoffs. Come on.
Jeez. I'm almost to the point where I'm like, I think I want off this planet.
Because of this? Settle down.
Like, well, the whole meta glasses and like all the stuff you're describing, I was like, I'm done here.
Call somebody.
I don't think this place is meant for me anymore.
Well, I'm going to bring you back with this. Mammoth tonight.
There we go.
Jazz tonight.
Some Mammoth and play some grunge. Yeah, I'm back again.
Mammoth grunge is not going to help you, my friend.
It's going to make me feel young again.
Mammoth tonight, Jazz tonight. All of it's going on. We're excited because we got it all popping here. And by the way, Mammoth with an announcement today. Live press conference at 4 o'clock. So we'll get that to you. We've got tons going on. We have a lot that we want to be able to bring to you. And so we're making sure and getting you going here. Let's kick off the show as we always do with the cut. Let's jump in right here. Top of the program officially. Let's jump in. JJ and Alex, let's do it.
It's time for the biggest story of the day. This is what made the cut with JJ and Alex on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Portion of the program brought to you by good folks at Trajan Wealth, TRAJAN Wealth.com. That's Trajan Wealth for all your trusted local needs in retirement. JJ, let's talk about it. We're going to chat with our guy, Mike Folta. He's the Mammoth radio play-by-play voice, of course, and he's going to join us and talk about this big one tonight, of course. And then that's at home, by the way, 7:30. I think that's a 6:30 pre.
Yes.
So you got a 7:30 puck drop. What's the time difference for? It's normally a 6 and 7. What's going on here? Is it because of the special things that are happening today surrounding the Mammoth with a press conference? I don't know. But the Ottawa Senators coming to town. Where does this one sit? This is the first of 7 games at home.
It's time to start stacking W's and no more excuses and no more we need to do this and we've got to do that. It's time to do it.
Well,
this team is got to start playing consistent, good hockey. We've seen them play at a level that is awesome. I thought they were great in the Rangers game, absolutely kicked the Islanders' butt, and then they stunk in Jersey. Like, you can't keep doing this. And now you're at this point where you got 7 in a row at home. You should win almost all of these games. You're better than most of the teams you're playing in this 7-game stretch. You've got to start stacking W's. They need to get 2 points more often, game in and game out, instead of this 2 points here, none there. This is not a pathway to the Stanley Cup playoffs at their current rate. They've got to get a run going. You've seen what the Buffalo Sabres did. The Buffalo Sabres won 10 in a row. And all of a sudden, this franchise that hasn't been in the playoffs in 2 decades is right there in the mix.
Yeah.
Even the Buffalo Sabres have been able to find some consistency with their young lineup. This team is capable. We saw them go on a 7-game run already earlier this year. Stack W's. It starts tonight.
I wonder if there's also a moment, too, where this team – I mean, I think that yesterday I kind of shocked myself when I looked at that and went, oh, they were 43 – They were 43 games in last year with 43 points on a year that they were like, this isn't the year. But next year, man, and what we do at the beginning of this year, we definitely had a different expectation. This organization has an expectation. And to have 43 games in and 43 points this year, it feels like this, right? It feels like that there's this kind of running in place deal. Now, what's good is that they have given themselves they're still in that spot where they're able to keep fighting and kind of, you just have to keep stacking those wins so that you can stay close to that. Because when you do make a run and when you do start to kind of pull things around, and by the way, they did, you remember last year, they started to really make that run toward the end of the season.
Yeah.
They're 43 games in. That's more than half of the season, by the way. Okay. And more than half of the season, and you're on pace for 83 points. And last year they had to kind of move mountains to get to, 89? At that last part of the season?
That was well short. It wasn't good enough.
Yeah. And so you have to look at where the games are here and say, let's get this thing going. Speaking of let's get this thing going, Mike Folta, radio play-by-play voice of the Utah Mammoth, joining us on the program. Mike, what's going on, man?
Hey, fellas, headed over to a press conference at Rice Eccles here. So there's some
oh boy,
announcement at a football stadium. So you got to wonder if they're thinking about staff. We'll see, but yeah, exciting times here with the Mammoth, with the commissioner in town to make some kind of announcement coming up here in a few minutes. But other than that, it's the start of a 7-game homestand tonight against the Ottawa Senators, and this is a huge opportunity for the Mammoth to try and make up some ground.
We were talking about the making up the ground thing and how they're at the same exact point total last year as they were through 43 games. But what feels different about this team, or does it feel different? Like, even though you're going, all right, yeah, you're at the same point total through the same amount of time last year, through the same games that they were played last year, there's still this feeling of like, one, your guy Logan Cooley's out. You've had moments here. This team looks better, I think. Maybe I'm convincing myself that, but from a point standpoint, it's the exact same. What do you feel like is different this year that feels like they're in a better situation than they were last year?
Well, I think the team is better. First of all, if you pull over to the side of the road, throw out the flares, and pop the hood, and you look at the internal numbers, the analytics for this group, they're top 5, top 10, and a lot of these analytical categories, which they were not last year. Now, the difference this year is they've lost a lot of close games. There have been a couple games where they would want maybe another save or two from whoever's in net. And so even though the results look similar, I think this team is better. And the numbers, the under-the-hood numbers, if you will, prove that. It's just a matter of kind of finding that extra 1%. And this year, the NHL is so competitive, guys. Like, this time last year, there were probably 8 teams that were like out of it by this time last year. At this point this year, you have maybe 1 or 2 teams that are out, but even then, it's not crazy to think that those teams could win a couple and get right back in the mix. So there's a whole bunch of teams clogged up in the middle, and the margin for error has shrunk a lot this year compared to last.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. This Mammoth team is good enough, and the analytics say that. I'm looking at goal differential right now in the West, Mike, and there's only 4 teams in the West that have a positive goal differential: the Avalanche, the Stars, the Wild, and the Mammoth. Yet the Mammoth are on the wrong side of the wild card line right now. How do you explain that, where this team has had a lot of good offense, they have a positive goal differential, but you look at the record and they're right there at 500?
Well, the nuts and bolts of it is that when this team has had a good night, it's had a really good night. Yeah. We saw that in the last road trip when they won 7-2 against the New York Islanders. So they're winning by a bunch of goals, and then, like I mentioned, they've had a bunch of these one-goal losses, too. Utah's actually one of the worst teams percentage-wise in the league when it comes to these one-goal games. And so that's an area where luck is a little bit of a factor. Like, you just need one more bounce to go your way. But the other side of that is you have to find a way to manufacture that luck. And winning close games is something that every championship team has to learn how to do. And even beyond that, something that every playoff team has to learn how to do. But goal differential can be a deceiving stat because, like I said, you can be 1-1 and win one game 10-0 and lose the next game 1-0. But with all that being said, over the course of time, goal differential typically is a pretty good indicator, as you would imagine, of teams, who are in the playoffs or teams who are the best. I think there was one team last year that made the playoffs with a negative goal differential, and there was one team with a positive differential that missed the playoffs. So usually you see that number and you're in the green, and it means you should be bringing your dancing shoes to the Stanley Cup playoffs in April. But that's how close Utah is, where they have those underlying numbers. It's just the close games. They got to find a way to win.
There have been so many guys who've stepped up in critical moments. I think we were talking about Carcone yesterday and how big of a deal it was, how much of an impact guys like him have made. They're asking guys to do a lot in the absence of Logan Cooley, who is irreplaceable in the sense that nobody really has that skill set. There are guys who have different versions of that, but he has just something special, and you don't want to be missing on one of your young superstars that you've just signed to a massive contract. So how are they dealing with making sure that guys feel that? It seems like the team feels that pressure, that there are guys who show up on a nightly basis who it's like, man, Durzee's there, Carcone's there, and on nights that you wouldn't hear their names on typical nights every night when you'd hear Logan Cooley's name every night.
Yeah, I mean, hockey's the ultimate team sport, right? And so it's hard to make a comparison to football or basketball where, you lose one guy out of 20 And I'm not sure if losing Logan Cooley is the same as like losing your number one edge rusher or the number one receiver. I don't know how to draw that line, but at the time of his injury, guys, he was leading the team in goals and on pace to have just an incredible year. And we are expecting to see him back after the Olympics coming up in February. I'm glad you mentioned Michael Carcone because he was a guy who had 7 goals all of last year. Well, this year he already has 8. So he's already surpassed his goal total from a year ago. And it's not like he's playing top-line minutes, Michael Carcone, either. I mean, he's playing third-line minutes, so you're not seeing as many shifts, you're not seeing as much ice time, and he's making the most of it. Another guy who's really stepped up in the absence of Cooley is one of his line mates, Dylan Guenther. We've played now 14 games without Cooley. Guenther has 11 goals in those last 14 games. So he's elevated his play when his team has needed him to. He scored a goal in Utah's last game at Madison Square Garden against the Rangers in a 3-2 overtime win. But you go back to the start of December, which is essentially when Cooley went out due to injury, and there's only 2 guys in the league who have more goals since then than Dylan Guenther does. And even casual or not non-hockey fans might know their names, Connor McDavid and Nathan McKinnon. So that's pretty good company for a 22-year-old Dylan Guenther.
After the New Jersey game, the New Jersey loss, Sean Durzi was pretty vocal about the team's lack of consistency and spoke pretty, I think he was pretty blunt of his assessment with where things were at, and I'm sure he wanted to get the locker room fired up. What do you take of that? Him being willing to say that and then going and backing it up on the ice against the Rangers. How important was it to have that kind of leadership moment for Sean Durzi?
He's a vocal leader. He's one of those heartbeat guys in the room, and missing him for the first half of last year was honestly a big reason why Utah fell short of the playoffs. But he was telling us after the game in his post-game media availability that he took a late penalty in the third. He didn't like the call, and that was at a crucial point in the game when it's tied 2-2. Last thing you want to do is take a penalty. But he told us that his grandfather had actually passed away a couple weeks ago, and while he was in the penalty box, he said a little prayer, was asking for some help from his grandfather, and he came out of the penalty box late in the third like a bat out of hell.
He was pissed.
He was buzzing, and he almost scored in regulation. Like, he came right out of the box, and when a lot of guys would have gone off for a line change, he was like, "Nuh-uh, I'm taking this right to the net," and almost scored to make it 3-2 in regulation. But then he's at the right place at the right time and makes the right play in overtime off a great setup from Nick Schmaltz. And the emotion on Sean Durzi's face and in his celebration after that game tells you all you need to know. He wears his heart on his sleeve quite a bit, and I think the team feeds off of that.
Mike, as you see this team getting ready for this 7-game homestand, we like to do this as because it's our job to kind of do the guessing and the opinion stuff. And when you look at this and you go, okay, this is a crucial moment for them to step up, and now they do start to take that swing of they're going to have more home games in the second half of the season than they are the away games. They were absolutely pummeled with a tough road schedule. What do they have to do in these next 7 games? And I think we were talking about the next 14. They're 10 of 14 at home as well. Where do they have to be before, and that's before the Olympic break, where do they have to be before the Olympic break to kind of give themselves a spot to be able to make a move after they come back from that break?
I think as long as you're within a couple games of the wild card spot, you have a chance. The problem becomes when there's a bunch of other teams that also have just a couple games to go to get to that cut line. And that's where Utah is right now. I believe there are 2 games out of that one game out of the second wild card spot in the Western Conference. And like I said, you can be right at 500. You can look at your record, your points, and think you're okay. But in reality, there's a bunch of other teams that are thinking the same thing. And what happened last year was that the St. Louis Blues won 12 games in a row at the end of the season, and they essentially ripped that last wild card spot away from a couple other hopeful teams, including Utah. And so you have to think that there's going to be some team that goes on a bit of a run at the end of the year. It happens just about every year in each conference. Last year it was St. Louis with 12 in a row. The Mammoth need to be able to control their destiny a little bit more. And listen, there's 25 games after the Olympic break, so there's still a lot of hockey to be played. But I really think you got to be within a game or above the cut line at the Olympics to feel really good. Now, you do get Logan Cooley back after the Olympics, so you have that to look forward to. But when there's a bunch of other teams that are right there, you can't be 2 or 3 games out and think that, hey, everything's okay, because there's a bunch of other teams that are saying that same thing. And if you're not going to go on a run, somebody else is going to.
What impact will it have, could it have on this franchise to have 4 players involved in the Olympics coming up here next month?
We asked Andre Turney about this earlier after media availability, just kind of off to the side. And he had a funny line that I could share. He said the Olympics or these international games are like university on steroids. It's like college on steroids. It's a learning ground. And there have been a lot of examples of really good players or great young players that go to the Olympics and are surrounded by the game's best. They see how it's done, and they come back different. And I think that's a little bit of what Utah is hoping for Clayton Keller and JJ Peterka and Karel Vejmelka and Oli Mata, is that they take something from the best in the game, because all those guys are going to be surrounded by greatness. Like when JJ Peterka walks into the Team Germany dressing room, he's going to be looking across from Leon Draisaitl, who's one of the best goal scorers in the league the last decade. Clayton Keller is going to be in that Team USA dressing room with Austin Matthews, with a bunch of other elite American players. And you can go on down the list. And so it's a learning opportunity to see how the best do it. That's the simplest way to put it. And you don't really get that in the regular season, but these international tournaments are the perfect breeding ground for guys to pluck practices and habits away from the best of the world.
Mike Folta, radio play-by-play voice of the Utah Mammoth, on his way to a live press conference that we're going to be carrying right here at the 4 o'clock hour. Mike, we're not going to ask you to kind of reveal anything except for the fact that this is a big one for the team. How excited should fans be about a day like today?
Oh, you think they tell me? You think I'm in the inner circle? I show up like a good foot soldier. No, it's going to be really exciting.
Do you just have your headset on in your car, and they're like, "Hey, you need to plug this in at any point and just start going live from wherever we're at here, man. That's
exactly.
Your gig."
Exactly. Just on call. Like doctors are on call, but it's nothing compared to us radio guys. You got to be ready to go in at a moment's notice. But it's incredibly exciting. I can tell you that. And anytime the NHL commissioner, Gary Bettman, is in town to help make an announcement, that's how you know that something big is about to happen. And like I said, we can't talk about it necessarily, but it's something that even if you're not a hockey fan, you're going to want to be a part of, because it's not just too much. Lord knows Uncle Gary's listening in, and I don't want to.
Uncle Gary, oh my goodness! Everybody's got an Uncle Gary. Sometimes he can be super annoying, and sometimes he can be great. But that's the way the lives of commissioners are lived. And right here, we were talking about this before the show. There's no market who loves Gary Bettman more. If I'm Gary Bettman, I'm flying out to Utah every other week, man.
Well, exactly. That's a great point. Because commissioners typically get booed, right?
Yeah.
And Gary Bettman gets booed.
Yes.
It's become like a part of the Stanley Cup presentation. Like, okay, here's the cup. Pause, hold 5 seconds while the crowd boos the commissioner, and now hand the cup to the captain of the winning team. But Gary Bettman's only delivered good news in Utah, hopefully everybody loves him here. And we actually had him on our broadcast last year on opening night, and it was a blast. And he is, I'll say this, he's the sharpest guy in pretty much every room that he walks into. And I haven't been around him very much, but it's pretty easy to notice that when he walks in and when you interact with him. And that's what you hear from around the league and around people or from people who are around him more. But big news coming up here in just a little bit, so everybody better buckle their seatbelts here because it's big things are happening in State 45.
You're not emceeing this thing? Are you wearing a tuxedo right now?
Are you kidding me? They have me like I'm an usher. Like I didn't get to be part of the bridal party. I'm just like helping people to their seats.
You're passing out
drinks. Is that what that Purdue education gets you?
How dare you?
4 years, baby. 4 years.
I thought you were going to say 8 years. I'm a doctor.
We're killing it in the portal, baby. We're killing it.
Good.
The Boilermakers rise.
Well, Mike, we're looking forward to it. We're excited about it. We're more excited about the rest of the season, too, because it's nice to have these one-off announcements that are really, really cool. It's really nice also to be able to follow this team, and it's exciting night after night. Good luck with all the calls here at home. We're looking forward to it. I'm still going to throw something at you from the crowd. I haven't gotten the guts to come around during a broadcast and watch and see when you're on break, but I'm going to do it. One of these days I'll come by and steal a high five from you, man, during the broadcast. So thanks for hanging out with us.
Okay, I'll have our security aware that an armed and dangerous man may be approaching the booth.
Yeah.
So
well, that's
good luck.
That's good. All right, Mike, we appreciate it, man. We'll chat with you. We'll be listening in, of course, at 4:00.
All right, we'll see you guys.
There you
Thanks,
go.
Mike.
Mike Folta. Has he got the best job in the market right now for play-by-play voices? Because it's just like it's going to be honeymoon period for a while.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah,
and the team is good.
And they have
we're sitting here saying they need to be better, but they're fun.
Well,
and they're interesting every night.
Mike knows. Like if you think about it, these guys are way more invested than we are.
Yeah,
it's easy for us to fly by and go, hey, man, what the heck happened the last couple of games?
And then move on to the Jazz.
Right.
Or college
it's
football.
another for them to go when they're look, we've been in this business a long time. It's one thing for us to talk about things and we get off the air and we start whispering to each other and go, this freaking sucks, man.
Yeah.
Like if it sucks, it sucks. You know? And so and if it's not doing well, and I'm not saying they suck. What I'm saying is that there are moments that we've all looked around at each other and gone, what's the deal with this team right now?
Yeah.
By the way, the appearance of Mike Folta, as usual. Talking about the Utah Mammoth. Courtesy of the folks at Hercules First Federal Credit Union, growing faster together. All right, we'll take the break. We'll come back. Hey, let's talk about the disaster that is college football right now, because it's not the games on the field that are a disaster. It's all the stuff happening that surrounds it. And now, could some legal action make some changes? I certainly hope so, as Washington star quarterback Desmond Williams is likely not going to be Washington star Desmond Williams much longer. And if he is, it'll be under the force of being under house arrest playing football for the Huskies. So we'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk about that disaster of a deal. Stay here, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest name.
You're locked into JJ and Alex. With the insight and analysis on the teams you can't live without. This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Of course, David Bowie stole this from Vanilla Ice years ago.
Does Mr. Van Winkle ever get credit for the work he did?
Mr. Van Winkle.
Are we going to give him his props? Probably not.
David Bowie, one of the best. Vanilla Ice, not one of the best. But still, he did it, though. A1A,
but he rocks a mic like a vandal.
I know. A1A Beachwood Avenue.
David Bowie didn't write that lyric, did he?
No.
Okay. I rest my case.
Guess what? Lots is going on. What did you say in the tease there? You were like, the transfer portal is getting weird. It's been weird from the freaking beginning.
This is new territory.
New wrinkles?
Now,
New wrinkles
we
in all
should
this?
mention there was some portal news locally that we need to share.
All right.
Many of you may not know, especially Utah fans.
Oh,
will find this interesting.
Well,
but,
we might as well hit it then. Let's do the transfer portal breaking news sounder just for fun, since it's happening all the time. JJ from the JJ News Desk, and the only person who's qualified to be able to talk about other JJs in the world.
Breaking news out of Salt Lake City.
What do you have?
JJ Buchanan, tight end for Utah, in the portal. J.J. Buchanan, the 6'3" Henderson, Nevada native, who had a good first year with the Utes, 26 catches, 427 yards, 5 touchdowns. We thought he was coming back. Nope. He is in the portal today. The freshman, you probably have a good idea of where he's going to end up.
Follow Freddie Whittingham over to Big Blue.
Feels like that's where this is headed.
The old maize and blue. Fine. We'll see how that thing shakes out the rest of the way. Bummer news for if you're Devin Dampier, then you're going, I threw the ball a lot to that guy this year. And when I say a lot, I mean like toward the end of the year, we saw that guy getting more attention than a lot of the receiver group was.
Had a great bowl game. And suddenly finds himself not a Utah man anymore. Now, business as usual for these kids who are doing business as usual. But the Desmond Williams Jr. situation up at UW is different in the sense that he's going to enter the transfer portal, except for he hit it with a do not contact tag, which means he knows where he's going. Which also means that it gets really weird because he had just signed a contract. By the way, when he did the usual, want to thank God and my friends and family and the coaching staff and University of Washington supporters and blah, 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 and teammates, I guarantee those guys didn't know it was, half of them probably didn't know it was coming. But instead, he hits the transfer portal. What you're not seeing is that this will be a landmark moment, I hope, for college football, as the possibility of Washington, who says it could pursue and will likely pursue legal action against the sixth best passer in the Big Ten last year with 3,100 yards passing and 25 touchdowns. And dual threat, obviously, ran for almost 700 yards as well. Washington was a better team than people thought they were going to do. They ran it up on Boise in the bowl game. Desmond Williams is one of the best. He immediately becomes probably the best quarterback in the transfer portal. Of course, you can't touch him because it's likely that LSU is going to be the team. It's likely that Lane Kiffin and his minions, and they are minions,
are hard at work to bend and break the rules that are out there. But the interesting thing is UW's like, whatever. You could suing LSU and Lane Kiffin and whatever the tampering may have been or may have not been, this kid signed a contract like 5 minutes ago, and it is immediately breaking it. Okay? Now, we've said before, what do rules matter about transfer? It doesn't matter. It's different now that there is hefty money involved and commitments that have been involved and schools making financial backings and commitments while other schools are making financial commitments to the same person in the background. These contracts, I think from a legal perspective, and I'm not a legal expert, but I think that you'll be able to see the smart people at the University of Washington, of which there are a lot, go, hey, we have something here to stand on. And whether or not that's going to make him play for the University of Washington, that's not the point. The point is to be punitive in a space where being punitive and punishment has not been a thing. It's been not just the Wild West, it's been wholly unfair for some of these institutions, and I know that no one feels bad for these institutions who've been able to get a lot out of these athletes over the years without having to pay and revenue share. The thing is now at some point, schools are going to have something in place. And I'm hoping that what comes out of this is that this guy who's thrown for almost 72% in his career in the 26 games he's played for UW, that makes him very, very desirable. But that was the reason that UW threw money at him and threw a contract at him and said, let's wrap this kid up, and then walked away from it, shook each other's hands, and said, let's get back to work. And LSU is right there. They're right there. Lane Kiffin has done wonders with guys who have transferred in from other schools. You think people don't know that?
He has.
Think about Trinidad Chambliss. Think about Jackson Dart.
Yep.
Who was what number overall pick was he? 6? What was he? What did it end up being for him?
In the 20s in the first round?
Well, either way, yes.
Is that what you're asking?
I couldn't remember where he went.
24, 26?
Either way.
Giants traded up to get him.
But now when you look at it, out of the rookie quarterbacks that you saw play, despite the fact that his team...
He was the second quarterback taken, if I remember.
Yeah. If despite the fact that his team is kind of where they are, firing a coach midseason and still being able to be a productive rookie, that I think people see it sometimes and they go, yeah, rough around the edges, but man, also a dynamic dude.
Yeah.
Right? And I think if you're looking and you're watching and you're going, yeah, no, he's better than Zach Wilson was for sure. And he has potential. Now, they look at guys and they go, we're going to put you in the league. Trinidad Chambliss might win a national championship, albeit a difficult go. I just hope that this thing, when these massive players hit the open market, when they do it, not in good faith, which is like a big, like legal guys are looking to see if somebody breaks that, right? If you're not doing this in good faith and you're cheating the system, you're going to get punished, and I hope that college football is going to look, and I don't care about the NCAA, I care about the idea of somebody being able to go, hey, these are the things you can't do. You know why? Because you're going to get your butt sued, and you don't have the recourse. You don't have the recourse or the resources to be able to defend yourself in something like this when you break rules of that of contracts from a financial standpoint.
If you're one of those sports fans out there that's a bit fed up with the current state of college football, the transfer portal, NIL, the conference realignment, and everything about it, not just the player side, but the university side, the coaches bouncing around all over the place. If the whole Kyle Whittingham situation grinds your gears, this story right here is probably making you angry. And Damon Williams is probably the poster boy for what is wrong with college football in 2026. Not only did he sign that deal and then went back on it, jumped in the portal, which shows he lacks integrity, he did this. He posted his IG farewell during Mia Hammond's memorial service. Who is Mia Hammond? She's the Washington women's soccer goalkeeper who died from cancer this year, whose story really, really took off and resonated in Washington. For those people that live in Seattle and that follow UW, they were very touched and moved by that. For him to be so tone deaf to do that, there's video of the Washington football players in attendance looking at their phones and talking about what happened while they're at the memorial service. How can you be that tone deaf and that selfish? You care about you, and that's it. And that doesn't sit well with a lot of people. Mm-hmm. And those of you that love sports and you love the competition, you love all that stuff, but then you see this and you're turned off a little bit by it, I get you. Because this bothers me. And this guy bothers me a little bit. He feels a little too much about me in a sport, in a world where we need more people that are about us. And I think that if you're at the University of Washington and you're a fan, don't let the door hit you, man.
Yeah.
Get out of here. And more guys that do this kind of stuff, like you can do whatever you want, man. If you're that talented and you're going to be able to go get yours. But that's how you're going to be labeled, and don't complain when we label you as that, because that's exactly who you are. You only care about yourself, and you're only about making $1, and you're selfish. That's what you're doing. Go ahead and do whatever you want, so be it. But don't get mad and angry when people label you that, because your behavior and your actions tell us exactly who you are.
I wonder what's going to come of this. Now, you'll always be able to kind of, if there's a guy who's going to live on the edge, Lane Kiffin and his minions will do it. They'll be the ones to do it.
There's another story involving LSU that's in the news. The Brendan Sorsby's news.
Oh, tell me about that. Speaking of quarterbacks that are in the...
Ross Dellinger reported about that.
Because I thought people had it wrapped up. He was going to go to Texas Tech. But in comes Lane Kiffin.
Well,
right?
He tried to come in, of course.
Don't you see him? It's in one of those movies where the kid walks out of the room at night and just signed that awesome contract, and then Lane Kiffin has a cowboy hat on in the background, and he lights a cigarette, and you see his face kind of light up, and he goes, "Say you're a good football player."
So LSU.
Anybody told you how good of a football player you really are? Because I think somebody hasn't really told you the truth. Come on, bad guys.
You're really good at smoking fake cigarettes.
I had to do it on the.
It's a good sell
air
for our fans watching YouTube. The story is, according to Ross Dellinger, who's one of the best that covers college football, in some documents, apparently LSU proposed to quarterback Brendan Sorsby, who did end up at Texas Tech, by the way. They proposed to quarterback Brendan Sorsby a $3.5 million NIL guarantee through its MMR partner. Now, and Ross goes on to tweet, in a fascinating window into quarterback bidding wars, schools are using corporate sponsors to exceed the cap with lucrative promises that haven't yet passed the clearinghouse. So LSU out there offering things that they're not allowed to offer yet because it hasn't been cleared.
I love the clearinghouse, too, which is also a thing where they're like, well, you have to make sure that academically they're lined up with. It's like, what'd you get on the SATs? Remember how that was the thing? What'd you get on the SATs?
I'm picturing some guy with black rimmed glasses from the 50s working for the clearinghouse.
Excuse you.
Yeah.
What would you get? What was your GPA in school? It's like, who freaking cares, man? Yeah. There's some stuff you wonder, again, everybody's going to break the rules until somebody
Kiffin
goes.
has been at LSU for 1 minute, and he's already causing all kinds of chaos.
Yeah, it's good. All right. We'll take a break. When we come back, we've got ourselves a couple things going on here. Have ourselves a Would You Rather. 4 o'clock, we're anticipating a press conference that we're going to take live for the Utah Mammoth up at Rice Eccles Stadium. So stay here. 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.
Listen, everybody. Real-life hypotheticals to get your brain churning. As JJ and Alex ask, would you rather?
All right, everybody. Win Ticket Wednesday right now on the KSL Sports Zone. JJ and Alex. Hey, welcome back. Lots going on. Top of the hour, you're going to get a press conference live. SEG and the NHL making a joint announcement up at Rice Eccles Stadium. Start making guesses, do the math in your head, whatever it might be. I'll tell you what you can do right now, and I can guarantee it. If you're calling number 12 at 801-575-ZONE on a Win Ticket Wednesday, you can get 2 tickets to see Toto, Christopher Cross, the Romantics at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater coming up on August 21st of this year. Tickets are on sale this Friday, but you can win them right now on the station. So let's get it going. All you have to do is dial us up. Call number 12 right now wins a pair of tickets. 801-575-ZONE. That's 801-575-9663. We were just having a laugh during the break of more insane transfer portal news. And I saw this on Twitter, and I think it's good to get the visual because it's one thing to say, hey, a bunch of players are leaving with Matt Campbell from Iowa State to Penn State. And let's wait on it, though, right? I mean, come on. Ryan Smith wanted to get ahead of it. It's your own news. He can do whatever he wants with it, all right? But like I said, in the interest of college football looking so weird, a visual was put together of the Iowa State transfers of guys who are coming from Iowa State to follow their former head coach, Matt Campbell, to Penn State. And the number is currently at 19. They're anticipating 4 more, likely by the end of the week, which will put the number at 23 transfers in from Penn State, or from Iowa State to Penn State. Is that the most? Because I know that Signetti brought a ton of JMU guys. Remember that? But bringing 9 JMU guys to
bringing that many guys from a Power 4 to another Power 4 is significant.
You're bringing a full starting 22
You're bringing
almost.
the Iowa State Cyclones to State College, and their Penn State fans like, hey,
they love it.
We're the new Iowa State,
and they're loving it because what are they getting? They're getting a guy who has a bunch of players. And I mean, do the math. Would you rather be at Ames, Iowa, winning 9 to 10 games a year, which is what you've been doing over the past 4 years? Or would you rather go to Penn State with the idea of you're at freaking Penn State?
You'd rather go to Penn State.
You're wearing the most boring helmet in the history of football helmets, and it's iconic, man.
But everybody recognizes
But everybody knows what it is. wearing a practice helmet on game day, it doesn't matter. I'm telling you, this is a wild time that we live in college football. And when I saw this graphic, and it had all guys, just arrows pointing from Iowa State to Penn State, and it was 19 dudes. I mean, you need 22 to field a football team, right?
Yeah.
You're talking about Rocco Beck, the Hanson kid who ran all over BYU, their tight end, all of the people that made that team, minus the guys going to the NFL, and maybe Abu Sama who's going to Wisconsin. Iowa State is not going to be our pick next year to win the Big 12.
No.
I'm going to go ahead and say it now.
Nope.
All right?
They're rebuilding in Ames.
That's all right. Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, and we'll get you that live press conference. Smith Entertainment Group and the NHL with a big one right around the corner from Rice-Eccles Stadium. Stay here, 97.5 the KSL Sports Zone.